welcome back to my YouTube channel. Once again, my name is Tracy VA. It's the Unplugged Potential podcast, and I'm here with my very special guest, Intellect RFG.
Hello, hello, man. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Yes, and he's here to talk about his new album, Four Seasons, which just
Yes,
released at the top of this month.
yes.
How are you feeling about this new release?
Wow, man. Well, first of all, I'm just overjoyed and really appreciative for the feedback that I've been getting for it. 4 seasons, it's a long time coming. I usually drop a project every single year, but last year I took the year off to kind of master this and come up with this concept and kind of work the singles. And the reception I've been getting is incredible. So just very grateful and just excited that the world can hear it and live with it.
That's amazing. You know, my podcast, Unplugged Potential, is definitely for the independent artists out there to motivate and inspire them. And I have to say, you are one of the people that really motivate me on social media because the way you take your time behind everything that you release and the passion you put behind it. Tell me about the process of putting this album together.
Oh man, thank you for that. It was quite a process. I usually start by coming up with a concept, and so for this album, the concept was, as you can see on the cover, is four of me. So four different personas because I believe it's four different sides of me. So you could say, and just creating the music that embodies that. A lot of people like Intellect RFG for different sounds. Some people like the slow music. Some people like the bars. Some people like when I get introspective and super lyrical. And some people
Yes.
just want to have a good time. So I just wanted to create something that shows the four different sides of me, but also give a little something for everybody on this album.
Right. Well, for everybody that's watching, make sure you guys check out this album, okay? It's available everywhere. And I have to say, he's speaking facts, okay? He's definitely giving us all the things we love about Intellect. You know, you have romance songs, you have more of, giving us the bars, giving us the real within 12 songs of this album. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I wanted to make it a short, concise listen. I know the trend right now is just a lot of songs and a lengthy listen, and I just want to have it short, concise, to the point, and evenly split out, 3 songs for each character.
Yes. And what did you want people to really take away from you releasing this project?
I just really wanted people to kind of get a better insight to who I am. I feel like that was one of the biggest disconnects with my music previously. I was making good songs and songs you would listen to, but people didn't walk away knowing who is Intellect RFG. So I feel like with this album, I really showed you like, hey, this is me when I feel confident. This is what makes me feel confident. Hey, this is me being vulnerable with Heartbreaker, falling in love and taking that chance. And this is me just having fun, popping shit. I want to have a good time like everyone else. And then also I wanted to give introspective, like this is my struggles. This is what I deal with, like with songs like Lows and songs like Still Searching, like dealing with that vulnerable side of myself. So I just really wanted the audience to connect and learn a little bit more about me.
Yes, my favorite track, let me go ahead and give you my favorite track is, of course, Expansion Plan, like that song because all the way down to the production, I feel like I was listening to like a Drake song. I was like, I've never seen this side of you before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of people told me that they were shocked when they heard that. Like, man, this is a lot of, singing melodic, but then I end the song with a super long verse just talking to the woman. And I really like to cater to the female audience. I kind of know what they like from me and what they want to hear. And I wanted to combine, that song, if you really listen to it, it's really about finding a wife and starting a family, finding someone that you're so in love with, like, man, I want to put a baby in you, which is as crazy as it sounds, but that's just the vibe I was on.
Say that to people. I don't say that to them. I scared them away a little.
Yeah, yeah, but it's a love song, just talking to the ladies, and I'm glad you enjoy it, and I hope everyone else gives that a listen. I think it's one of the best songs on our project.
Okay, so you're talking about giving us these different sides of intellect. Now, what is one side that you feel like you gave us and you're like, I feel like they weren't ready for this side.
I would definitely say my confidence side. An easy answer would be kind of like the ladies' man side with expansion plan and be mine. But confidence, I feel like cozy, a song like that, and disgusting. those are two songs no one ever could expect me to make. Like it's just so different from my catalog and so aggressive. I mean, hard hitting beats, super catchy hook. And I just wanted to display like, man, I really can make any style of rap I really want to. And
Yes.
this is when I play these songs, I feel the best version of myself. And I hope the listener gets that same feeling.
Yes, and I definitely heard that, just being the listener and being the receiver. I heard the time that you put into it, the passion behind it. So this was for to people to get to know you. So let's go ahead and utilize this interview to go ahead and get to know you a little bit better. Something I don't know that I would like to know, where did you get your name from?
That's such a great question. So
Like
I
sometimes it
got it
just
in
starts there.
Yeah, and it's just like, how did you come up with that? So I got the name. Originally, I went by Intellect, and I got that in eighth grade. And originally, I wanted to be like, man, I want to be different. I want to stand out, and I want to speak to people's minds, and I want to show that I'm lyrical and witty and all that stuff. But actually, I got that name off this. It was like an online video game where I would log in and rap battle people. So I would be typing my raps like this is before I'm super old, but this is like before you could use voice to chat. So I was just typing my raps, kind of perfecting my pen, and I was going up against like people that were stealing like Eminem and Lil Wayne bars. So I was getting killed. But that's really how I came up with the name Intellect because they're like, man, you're witty and quick with it. So that's how I got my name.
Honestly, that was my guess, but I just didn't want to assume, right? Because when I think of you, like just as a person, and even outside of being artist, like just as a person, you just seem so like I don't even know what the saying is. Like maybe it's along the lines of like iron sharpens iron. Like you're just very like on point with everything, like down to like your music and your lyrics, the music videos, the songs. You put a lot, and you really do strive for giving people something that they have never seen before.
Yes, yeah, for sure. I always want to take the challenge to be different, and I guess that's always been instilled with me from my parents. Just giving me the confidence of like you can do anything you put your mind to. And I've always was creative as a young child. I was making comics and things like that. So I wanted to just take pride in everything I do, anything I put my name on, and stand out. Like, what will make you remember me when you see my video? I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna in my lyrics. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say something that is not crazy where it's like clickbaity, but crazy like, wow, he said that? How did he think of that? Like, this is crazy. Like, how you come up with that concept, that melody? So that's something I really take pride in, and I appreciate the compliment.
Yes. Um, how about let's get into Chicago, right? Because you are a Chicago artist, okay? I root for you guys heavy, okay? Because it's just something always interesting about Chicago artists. It's never the same person. They're always one person you meet, and you're never gonna meet somebody else like them. Can you say the same?
Facts.
And it could be good or bad.
Facts. Yeah, facts. I mean, Chicago, I really think, I know a lot of people say it's something in the water, but I just think we are very prideful in individualism, which can be a good thing and a bad thing at times. But I think everyone, you have to stand on your own, be your own, and express yourself on your own, or we're gonna call it out. We have expressions like "foo" and which means phony and fake, and then
Goofy.
Kendrick just popularized merch. Yeah, Goofy. Kendrick just brought out Merch It in the new Playboy album. You know, that's something we've always said, but just the root of that is just authenticity. Like, hey, you have to be authentic. You have to be yourself, and we take a lot of pride in that. Like, man, there's nobody like a Chicago person, and sometimes that's good, sometimes it's bad, but we stand on it.
With you, it's good. And another question I always wanted to ask you is just being in that scene, right? And making the music that you make and looking the way you look, talking the way you talk. How do you even find the confidence to even like feel confident that you even have a space in a
Yeah,
place of violence for the most part and other things?
that is a great question. I had a line in a old song where I say, "Chicago drilled until it struck oil," and me being that oil. The drill movement is an amazing time, and we have legends like Chief Keef, Change Rap Forever, Dirk. I can go on and on. FBG does. I mean, we have legends, and obviously we have the Yays, we have Lupe, we have Common. So I always thought, like, man, I want to blend that. I want to be my own creative and just stand on my own and bring something different. I know in the forefront of people's mind when they think of Chicago, they think of drilling and gangbanging and dissing the dead ops and all that. But we have such a diverse scene in music; it just gets overlooked because our mainstream artists, outside of like Chance and if you're really in tune, Saba Pivot and like little nuanced people like that, No Name and stuff like that. If you're not really in tune with those type of artists, all you know is G Herbo, Legend, Chief Keef, Dirt, King Von. I mean, it's just so many. Like that's all you know, and that's like the look and the aesthetic of Chicago when you think of it. So, I just wanted to stand on my own, and
How do you stand on your own? Because I know, like, I'm getting your business, but I know sometimes, maybe once, and maybe I'm lying. Have you hit a moment where you're like, dang, this is taking off and I'm doing this. So maybe it's because I'm not doing what they doing. Like, this is a podcast with independent artists. So like tell us about your story in a time where you felt like a little maybe insecure in like that space.
no, definitely all the time. I mean, if you go to I remember one time I did this showcase. I won't say who threw it, and
No, I'm joking.
they, yeah, and they, it was in the city, and they said, "Hey, all music has to be clean, and it has to be a certain aesthetic. You had to try out for it and everything." So I auditioned and I got it, and it was in front of judges, some people in the industry or whatever the case may be. So I went up there, I did my set all clean, and I'm the only artist that did an all clean set. Everyone else got the curse, and it was a lot of drill heavy influence. And I seen the crowd's reaction to it. A lot of people were like nodding their head and kind of respecting my music, but I seen how the drill got the reaction and the typical, you know, the sound we have, in Chicago. And the
Yeah.
judges picked that sound to win. It kind of overlooked me, I felt, because I didn't have the aesthetic of the dread head. And, again, which is cool because I rock with that.
Yes.
I mean, we all need that, but I just feel like at times I did feel insecure where it's like, man, am I gonna have to conform? I'm gonna have to sell myself short to fit in. Um, or do I just want to take the longer route, standing out? Because I can easily make a drill song. I could portray a lifestyle that I don't live. It's a lot of people that do live that lifestyle. That's why I respect that. It's people telling their experience versus an outsider like me just trying to come in and pretend like I'm gang banging, I'm drilling, and then I can get exposed for being unauthentic, which is very big in Chicago. So I
Can't
just,
do that. Can't do
yeah,
that.
you can't cap, can't you can't do that.
So you might as well
Can't
just
be
show
out
up
here.
as your best self, right? And just be like, take it or leave it.
Yeah, take it or leave it. I wanna, and you don't want to drill. I feel like you can't drill Sunday to Sunday. You need something else to listen to. Maybe on the weekend. I don't want to
Like,
be that
James,
other.
y'all don't want to talk about y'all's family. I know you a father. Like, you don't want to talk
Yeah.
about maybe, I don't know, maybe you vegan or something, you're vegan, Jerry.
Yeah, like something else. So I feel like I'm that balance. Like I just feel life is about balance, and I think we need that. And I think we both can coexist. We both can work together. Like it's not a divide. It's not a an outsider insider thing. It's just I just really wish that really more people in the industry in Chicago kind of embrace sounds outside of that and not trying to recreate a Little Dirk, a G Herbo, a Chief Keef. Like we have that already. Let's try
Yes.
to embrace and expand and keep moving the genre forward, and we can learn from other cities like Atlanta, LA. Right now LA is on fire. Just all these cities that, I mean, Detroit, they stuck to their sound and they have a lot of new artists popping up, so that's really what I want to encourage.
Yes. And those artists are great, but like you said, open up the palette a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Okay. Back to Four Seasons. Um, so what's next with you dropped the album, you dropped the music video, like what else is next for you?
Man, I have so much in store for this. So what I did with this album, I created a little skit mini series, kind of showing
I saw that.
my Denzel side of me. It's kind of showing my acting and writing influence. And I dropped the Great Debate Part 1. The Great Debate Part 2 is about to come out very soon. and it's really just exploring and kind of exploring the characters further and kind of seeing from the visual, from the music, and then hearing how they talk and how their persona is, so to speak. So I kind of want to add more life to that. More music videos coming. I have one in the cut that I'm super excited for to release, and just a lot of content, photo shoots, more reels, and I just really want to push and promote this album as long as I can because I feel like it needs to be heard. It's different. It's a very strong project, if I say so myself, and that's the plan for it.
What is one song you feel deserves the most attention and why?
Man, one song that's very tough. Oh man, ooh, that's difficult. I would say if I had to pick one song, like, hey, this is a song you need to listen to, I would say "Still Searching," and I say that because it's a great verse. My cadence on it is incredible. The hook is pretty catchy, but it's really a storytelling song. I'm really telling my story, and if you really want to get to know who I am as a person and kind of the struggles that I face as an independent artist, trying to fund everything myself, being in a city where I'm not the typical sound, typical look, dealing with you dating someone at the time that didn't believe in you or didn't see the vision. Or you're dealing with, family that may be like, man, you rapping? Like, what? Like, what's that? Like, so it's like, dealing with all that pressures and still searching, trying to find yourself and dealing with that doubt and kind of feeling insecure, how we talked about earlier. I think that's a perfect song about keep going and striving to be great.
I also love how you talk about yourself. I heard you say like, my cadence is really good. You talked about yourself like you like in the game or something like this.
Yeah, I think it's a sports background in me. I'm just super competitive and analyze every aspect of the art. And I love to me, it is a sport. I know a lot of people don't really think of it like that, but to me, it's a sport about being the best, being competitive. And I want to hold myself to like the top of the bar. Like I want to hold myself to Cole, Kendrick, Drake,
Yes.
Future. Like that's who I look when I'm creating. I'm looking at them like I want to make something that can stand next to them. I'm not just trying to think like, oh, I hope this is good for the local scene. No, I want to make it where people are like, man, this project is very strong, and this is without a major budget like all the other artists. So that's how I kind of grade my pen and all my skill set on.
Quick, do you think there's a cheat code? Because just artists always just think like, what can I do? Because I know this project is very strong, and it's you're like, what can I do? Like, do you feel like there's something that you can do that a lot of people overlook? Maybe it's the most simple thing. What would you say?
That's a great question. I would say my the simplest thing is probably my beat selection. I feel like I pick very good beats and I how I attack the beat is very unique where you're getting I guess versatility would probably be a better answer. Like my versatile beat selection, versatile sounds where I can do a pop record like Beautiful Disaster. I can do a gym record or a hard record like Cozy. I could do a lady slow melodic song like Expansion Plan. I could do a deep introspective lyrical song like We Don't Care. Like I could just take it anywhere and it starts with finding the right beat and palette for it. And then my pen is just a paintbrush to create that masterpiece.
Hey, what you did on see that beat the way it came in? I
Yeah.
felt like I was listening to like a Pharrell or Timbaland song. Like, that was
Yeah, that beat
dope.
is crazy.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get into some lessons in growth because that's very important on my platform. I am very big on motivating independent artists, and I consider myself a motivator for the people. So, what's one major lesson you've learned in your career that you wish you knew earlier?
Mm. I would say that this is gonna sound very crazy, but stay with me when I say this. The music is 50% of it, but it's also 100% of it. And I know that doesn't make sense at first, so I'm gonna explain it.
Go ahead.
The 100% has to be you have to love it and you have to master whatever your skill is, whatever you're good at. Water that, keep working at it, practice at it. So that's where the 100 comes in. The 50% is on the grand scheme level where you have to invest in marketing. You have to invest in advertising. You have to invest in a team, whether it's a videographer, whether it's publicists, whoever the case may be. It's much more than creating a song, uploading it, it hits a million streams, and now you're famous. Like it doesn't work that way. And I just think that's my biggest lesson is that if you really want to do this, it's going to take sacrifice and investing and really understanding the business side of things. Getting your, are you registered in BMI or ASCAP? How are you distributing it? What producers are you working with? Like it's just a lot that you need to learn. And I know a lot of people kind of like the messy stuff that they see on YouTube and all the arguing with artists,
You with
but
the
really,
gimmicks?
yeah, the gimmicks. Like I personally wouldn't do that or recommend that, but I would recommend watching a lot of these interviews where these artists talk about what they went through and their missteps. And I'm like, man, if I would have just did this on the business side of things and kind
Yeah.
of learning more about that, you'll be way more successful. So that would be what I'd say. That's one of my biggest things I wish I would have knew earlier.
I can definitely agree to that. Like even me being a journalist, when I came in, I was like, okay, interviews, blog posts, that's it. But like I really had to get to the drawing board. Like you have to come back to the drawing board. Like, okay, I need more work on this. I need to write this. Like I kind of treat it like a game too. Like I would sit back and watch my videos. So I think people come in thinking it's just like one directional when really it's like so many other layers. Honestly, it's not a 9 to 5, but it's kind of
Yeah,
similar in that way.
yeah,
You know, you got to sharpen that pen. You got to sharpen those skills.
absolutely. It's almost a 24-hour job, honestly. I mean, you have to keep working, keep creating, keep thinking of new ideas. And, sometimes when I'm with family or I'm with my daughter, I may just space out and they're like, are you okay? No, I'm thinking of what's next, what I can do to amplify this and get more people to see it and hear it.
Yeah, yeah. My thing is, lately I've been doing is I get woken up like around like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And I used to just think it was just a coincidence, but now I kind of take it as whatever I'm thinking about, just write it down, write it down.
Mm.
And that has been working like crazy. So I think that's another thing for artists too. Like you kind of need to be just a little bit like what's the word? Like intuitive, like with messages. And if you have like if you want to the toilet, if you want to shower and you get an idea for content, jot it down and carry it out.
No, that's great advice. I definitely agree with that. Like, we call that a God idea, where you don't even know where it came from. It just hits you out of nowhere. You write it down, water it, grow it, mature it, share it with your brain trust, and just try things, man. Throw things at the wall. It's gonna eventually stick. I just tell people get out of your comfort zone, and that's why you inspired me with that, with TikTok and going live and your YouTube channel and just staying dedicated and putting it in, putting it in, putting it in. I remember when you first started and you were like, I don't know about it, but you kept going, and now it's a huge thing where people are super excited to play their
Yes.
music for you and super value your opinion. So it's just, you know, throw those ideas at the wall and it will stick.
Yes, and another thing I want to give away is with those steps and moving your skills to these different platforms, you really have to let people in. Like I see a lot of people thinking they too good, like, okay, I'm an artist, so I have to be an artist. I can't respond to people. I think another thing that's great too is just opening yourself up. Like I like how you interact with people on your social media. Like, what did you think of this song? Or, you DM them, like different things you could do.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's important, man. Like, Um, I know growing up, you may have seen artists being so mysterious and super out of reach where they'll never respond to you. But I know we are artists and we are very sensitive and create this art, but it's meant to be shared with the world. So I want to know, what do you like? What do you not like? What do you want from me? And let me create. I mean, we are walking businesses at the end of the day. So I want to make sure I'm appeasing people who support me and listen and share my music. Okay, what can I do better? What visuals? Okay, I know you guys like this, but what do you think about this? How can I improve this so you'll like this too? Like, so it's just crowdsourcing, and I'm not too big to say thank you because I truly do appreciate anyone who comments,
Yes.
likes, shares. I mean, that to me, I know monetary is the first thing people think, but that goes a long way. Like just a like, a comment. So anyone who does that, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you guys for watching too.
Yeah.
So, Intellect, now that 4 seasons is out, what is next for you?
Man, I one thing about me, if anyone who knows me knows I'm a workaholic. I stay in the studio. My brain is always moving. I always gotta be churning out some things. So I have something very special coming at the end of the year. I don't want to announce it just yet till it's finalized,
Is it a collab?
but
Are you about to collab with somebody you always want to collaborate with?
I think it's something around those lines. It's more so I'm stepping fully out of my comfort zone. I know what we talked about throwing ideas at the wall and ideas you have, write them down. I had an idea and I started working on it, and I feel like when you know it's the right idea, things just start clicking and boom, boom, boom. It happens so quickly. So I'm very excited about that. It is some new music, but we're gonna let this Four Seasons rock. But it is some new music coming, and I think it's gonna take everyone by surprise.
Right. I'm super excited for that. I just want to ask you that too. What is your dream collab?
Oh man, my dream collab. So many. I would say on the rapping side, it would be
You said Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Future, your favorite artist. So
yeah,
give it to
yeah.
us.
Man, I would say Kendrick for sure. Um, J. Cole, just trying to like rap with him would be like incredible. Just that he's one of the best rappers ever. So just like trying to I still iron sharpens iron, like you said. I think that'd be a great challenge. Um, yeah, I think that'd be great. I want to work with. I really like SZA. I really like Summer Walker, Chris Brown. I love Chris Brown. So it's so many that I can just envision just collaborating with. Lucky Day, Aaron Ray. He's an artist from LA. He's a little well known, but he's a great singer. It's so many people I want to work with. Little Sims in the UK. She's a female rapper. She's incredible. Rhapsody. I could go on for days. I just want to work with all the artists I feel like are really taking their time to make great art.
All of those people sound possible though. Like you didn't
Yeah.
say not one person. I'm like, you're reaching. No, that all sounds possible. Now, you know this is the Unplugged Potential podcast. So what is your unplugged potential message to the world?
My message to the world is that if you keep God first, you work hard, and you stay focused and don't get discouraged when you hit those potholes on the road to success. So you gotta pull over to change your tire, or you run out of gas and gotta walk to the gas station. That's all a part of the journey. And if you trust and believe in yourself, you will find the right destination. And it may be a different destination than what you want or what you think, but you're gonna end up exactly where you need to be. And I would also say just appreciate the little moments and pat yourself on the back for what you consider small wins. Like
Goes a
it's
long way.
okay, man. You have to. You have to be proud of yourself and encourage your own self. Be your own biggest fan.
You got to. You got to. My interviews, I try to become obsessed to myself because I feel like that's the key. Like, yeah, be the biggest fan. Get
You have
supported.
to.
I love that. And I can see that for you, intellect. Like, I feel like you are everything that you say you are within the music and in this interview. It's been great to talk to you, be face to face as well. So, everybody that's watching, thank you so much for watching the Unplugged Potential podcast. Um, Make sure you guys stream Four Seasons. It's everywhere, right?
Everywhere, available everywhere right now. Four Seasons, Intellect RFG. I'm on all social media, Intellect RFG. I'm not hard to find. And I'm telling you, you're gonna love this album. Let me know your favorite character. Let me know your favorite
Sure.
songs. And I really appreciate the platform and opportunity to be on this podcast.
Yeah, we're super excited. Thank you so much, Intellect. So make sure you guys hit the like button, make sure you comment and subscribe and follow for more inspiring artist interviews. And once again, I'm Tracy VA. I'm gonna see y'all next time. Thank you. Thank you, Intellect.
Just that crack, just that smack, just that codeine. Ay,